What's going on? It's your boy Mixmaster B here live from the MMB Radio studios for the MMB Radio podcast, where no topic is too big or too small. We talk about them all. And on today's episode of the podcast, I have a guest who, she wears a lot of different hats. She has a lot of different titles, everything from entrepreneur to DJ to Playboy Playmate to author, mother. I mean, there's so many things that this woman does that I'm hoping that we tackle all the topics tonight. And also, you're going to be able to see her at the Chiller Theater on April 28th, 29th, and 30th, where you can meet her and get photos and autographs. I want to welcome her in right now. DJ Colleen Shannon, how are you?
Hey, I'm good. How's it going?
Doing wonderful. And, oh, man, I was like, so many titles. How do you work in all this? I mean, the main one there I mentioned is being a mother. That there is a full-time job, let alone all the other things that you do.
I had to bribe them just to come and do the podcast, so I had to set them up with ice cream. I got a good TV show going on. I mean, mom pretty much takes number one for me. So, besides that, just getting back into my career and, meanwhile, stepping back from the turntables, I started writing some books. So I'm getting ready to release them pretty soon.
Yeah, and I mean, we're going to talk about that and everything, but I kind of want to start off how everything kind of manifested and how you became the hardworking woman that you are today. So I know a little bit about you. You're originally from Alaska, right?
Yes.
So what's life like in Alaska? I know you didn't live there forever, but growing up in Alaska, that's got to be a little different.
Yeah, super different. It was, I grew up on the Aleutian Islands in the Panhandle, so it was literally islands with no cars, no elevators, no escalators, nothing. So, I went from there to California.
Which is a big difference.
Major change. Yeah, for sure. For sure.
And then growing up in California, what part of California did you grow up in?
So I grew up in Northern California where my parents actually met and got married. Then they moved to Alaska. And then I was in Northern California, and then I moved to Los Angeles when I was about 20. And then I started pretty heavy in the entertainment field.
I mean, and that is the entertainment capital right there. So if you were going to do anything with entertainment, I guess LA would be the place to start off.
The funny thing was when I moved there, I didn't even know why I was moving there. I didn't expect to get into entertainment whatsoever. I moved with 2 turntables. I had a 1950 Chevy. So yeah, I get to LA and I've got a friend who was an agent, and he asked me if I was interested in auditioning, and I ended up auditioning for Pepsi. And I mean, I was so nervous. My lip was quivering. I was shaking. But I grew up on Pepsi and I loved it. So, I mean, I found out that if you have a smile, if you're happy, you show up, you smile, you can sell a product, you get paid $10,000-$20,000. I was I'm kind of into this. So I ended up seeing a lot of film and commercials, music videos, a lot of music videos. I was definitely, I can be seen in about 20 or 30 of some of the music videos back in the day. And then DJing was my number one thing. I wanted to be a DJ and I wanted to be a playmate. And that was my 2 main goals in life.
Now, where did the desire to be both of those come from?
Well, DJing, one of my friends was a DJ in a band, and he had turntables. I'd always kind of been a band geek and played percussion, strings, wind. And he had turntables in his house, and he let me touch them one night, and it was just an electrical shock, right up my arms, my heart, and I became obsessed. So any DJ I ever met, anywhere I ever went and saw DJs play, I would try and get to know them, get their phone number, go just find out anything I possibly could about it. And then meanwhile, flipping through the pages of Playboy and just having that out in front of me and trying to emulate what they look like and stuff like that. And one day my pictures got sent into Playboy, and they said, we're going to shoot your centerfold with a turntable.
So you got to combine both of your loves.
I was it was just like, I mean, it was like manifestation in its finest.
Now, did Dad have like Playboys laying around? Like, how did you get interested and curious about Playboy? Like, what was the attraction to Playboy? Was it just, the glitz and the glamour of it?
Yeah, I think it was, it was just something about like that type of girl. It was like back then a lot of people bought magazines, so I don't think it was my dad so much, but different, just seeing it and just like looking at the girls like on the cover of the magazine and just being like, oh my God, I want to be like that one day.
Now, take us through that process, because we've had other guests on the podcast that have done, different things in the adult industry and, nudity, and it's not something that everybody can just, take their clothes off and feel comfortable with. Like, did you just embrace that feeling, or were you nervous, like, when you finally got that call from Playboy and was like, hey, we're going to shoot you for a centerfold?
There was a couple times before that where I had tried, like, they had a DJ edition with, I think they were going to choose like 5 female DJs, and one of my buddies had given like, a mixtape and, some pictures, and he ended up never like submitting my stuff. And then Hef had asked me to become his girlfriend, and I was like, no. And, there was a couple other times where I tried to do Playboy and it just didn't happen. And then it was literally like the 5th time. It was like another opportunity, and it came, and it was just like, it was perfect. It was the 50th anniversary for Playboy. It paid like $50,000. And then when they told me they were shooting it with turntables, I was just like, I was mind blown.
Now, like, out of all the people who have done Playboy over all the years to be selected for the 50th anniversary, like, that's got to be a thrill right there. I mean, not even including the fact that you get to shoot it in your own element with the turntables. But when they told you it was going to be for the 50th anniversary, what was your initial reaction to that?
Oh my gosh, I was just like, I was shocked. I was like stunned, shocked, nervous. My manager was like, a lot of these girls, they're actually like intimate with Hef. Like, is that something, and he's like, and if you are, and if you do, if you're comfortable with it, just let me know. But, a lot of these girls have to be intimate with him to get this. Like, are you willing to do that? And I was doing so well, like, with commercials and music videos, and just financially fine with that I had such a, like, strong head on my shoulders that I was like, no, there's no way. Like, I never want to stay up at the mansion. I don't even, if he wants to pick me up in a limo, like, I will meet him at the club. And I think Hef was just like shocked. Like, who does this girl think she is? You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And I think for him, he was just kind of like, whoa, this is different.
She's playing hard to get here.
I definitely did. Well, even my manager, like, when they called and said they wanted me to come in and test for it, he was like, she's going to be busy for 2 weeks. And they were like, are you kidding me? Like, what's going on here?
This is unheard of territory for, because you hear so many stories about Hef over the years that, again, that he had so many different girlfriends, that,
Mm-hmm.
people had to be intimate with him, and you don't know what is true and what's not true. And I guess to be standoffish, I'm like, no, I'm not doing that. And like, oh, well, I'll see if I can squeeze Hef into my schedule. That might have actually worked in your favor, because it was probably the first time anybody has ever, given that kind of reaction to something like that.
Yeah, that's probably true. I remember him calling me, and I was dating a soap actor at the time, and he called me and told me, I've got a room here at the mansion for you if you want to be my girlfriend. And I was just like, I got off the phone, and my boyfriend was like, who was that? And I was like, that was Hugh Hefner, and he just basically asked me to be his girlfriend.
Circle yes or no on the note and send it back, like high school days.
I was just always really focused on my career, you know what I mean? And I knew that there was a certain way you had to be in LA, and a certain, like, you have to build your own boundaries there to gain, like, respect. So that was the way I was going to do it, and that's the way I did it.
Now, obviously, you were January 2004, you were at the 50th anniversary. What was, like, after you were given the offer and you accepted the offer and did the shoot and everything, what was your relationship with Hef going forward after that? Like, did it kind of like blossom into doing more stuff with Playboy, or did it kind of just, kindle it off?
After that, you pretty much have an open invitation to the mansion. So like every Sunday they would have movie night where it's, a lot of powerful, men, movie stars, this and that. And then, some of the playmates would go up and everybody would sit in the movie room and watch movies. And I ended up probably DJing like half a dozen parties there. And that was just like always my dream. So it was a respect type of relationship with Hef.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm actually writing a memoir, and there was a moment that I'm not going to talk about right now, but we went to Paris Hilton's birthday party together, and the night got like really wild. He was drinking like Jack and Cokes, and he was dating the Shannon twins at the time, and it was definitely like a wild, wild night.
We definitely are excited to hear about that because, like I said, you hear so many iconic stories about the Playboy Mansion. I've only driven by the Playboy Mansion, and they were working, I guess, doing some groundwork on it because it recently was sold, I heard. I can't remember who they said bought it, but some bigwig bought it, and, I guess they were doing renovations or whatever. That's about as close as I've ever gotten to the Playboy Mansion, but that's cool that you were able to do all that. Now, did you feel like that kind of helped skyrocket your career even more, or?
Oh, 100%. Like right after I shot my centerfold, I flew to Miami to play a club called the Opium Garden, and it was like at the time it was like the biggest club in Miami, and I didn't even sleep the night before. I just played like record after record after record after record, and it was just like after that I went on a world tour for like 15 years.
That's insane.
I was in like 3 countries a month, everywhere from like Africa, China, Paris, Norway, Sweden, everywhere in the United States, like East, West Coast, back and forth, Canada, Alaska, you name it. I'm so thankful for Playboy and like what it did for my DJing career.
So would you consider yourself to be more of a DJ or a model or just a little bit of both? Because I know you market yourself on your socials as a DJ and everything. What do you like? Do you enjoy doing? I'm assuming you probably enjoy doing the DJ part more than doing the modeling, or?
I think the modeling to me is like easier. You know what I mean? It's just like I get a vision, and I've worked with some like really great photographers, and the DJing it's more challenging, but like more rewarding. You know what I mean? Because it's like you get that like that crazy like anxiety like before a show, like performance feeling, and then you meet the people, and it's just like the energy I have like after playing a show is just like I'll bounce out of bed at 7 o'clock in the morning and just be like high on life.
Or you're just getting to bed at 7 o'clock in the morning, so that
going to bed at 4 and getting up at 7.
Well, I could totally relate to that. Because it's that instant
Yeah.
gratification, that you get from doing something. Whereas if, because you've done acting as well, you've been in things like How I Met Your Mother and some other films. Whereas like you take takes, you're like on closed sets, it just something about having a live crowd in front of you, DJing. I can see where that's a little bit more instant gratification.
Yeah, it feels so good. Like I've got a couple shows coming up here. It's called the Gila River Casinos, and it's like the beach parties. It's pretty much a Las Vegas of Arizona. So I'm playing those at the end of May, like May 25th. I think I'm playing a show with Nervo, and I'm just like I'm so excited. For the past like 4 years, since I've been giving pretty much everything to my kids, like I dream about DJing, like I would say 70% of the time.
Now, what is your favorite?
That's weird.
No, it's totally. Me being a DJ myself, I understand that. I understand what that thrill, like I said, of being able to control an audience. You know what I mean? Like it's like being like the center of attention, but also you don't have to speak. You don't have to sing. You know what I mean? It's like
Yeah.
it's a weird thing to explain to people. You know, I've explained to people. I said,
Yeah.
why are you a DJ? You know, and I said it's just like I just love having that control of, you know, you're controlling the entire party. You know what I mean? Like I feel
Yeah.
more better in a setting where I'm the DJ than actually attending a party. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like I just
Yeah.
I just feel weird attending a party. Like, you know, I'm not the dancing type. You know what I mean? Like I'd rather just have the other people do all that. So I could
Yeah.
totally relate to that.
Absolutely.
But what I was going to ask was like, what type of music do you spin? Like, what is it that is your forte?
Yeah, it's kind of crazy. Like imagine imagine DJing straight for like 15 years. So it's like I'm in a nightclub every weekend and I know exactly like what's going to hit. And at the time when I was going like steady playing every weekend, I was playing, I guess I would classify it kind of like a DJ Marshmallow, like the very hot songs, but it's like uh tech house, like all of the like top hits, but then just crazy breaks,
Hmm.
like crazy breaks in it. So it was like techno, hip hop, like just really high energy. And I'm not quite sure how I want to establish getting back into DJing, like my music identity. I'm not sure. So that's why this next show is going to be pretty exciting.
Yeah, because the
Because
music
I'm just
scene
like,
changes like so much.
yeah,
Like I can
yeah, and
remember
I'm
a
trying
time
to
when it
figure it
was
out.
all hip hop, and then it got to be like, you know, dubstep, and then trance, and then it went back to being more, you know, hip hop, and then you
Yeah,
got artists kind of like crossing genres and everything, and you know, I mean, you got people like Drake now that are doing stuff, you know, and you know, he's doing like Sticky, and it's
exactly.
like that's like bumping in a club, you know, and it is in the dance mix. So yeah, that's gonna be interesting. But let me ask you, like,
Yeah.
what is out of all the places you've DJ'd, what is your favorite place to have DJ'd so far? Like, what country? Like, what crowd stands out, and how do they vary from different country? What is some of the similarities and differences you see between different countries?
I mean, San Tropez, like, is amazing. There's a club called the VIP Room there, and it's just like the stage rotates like 360 degrees. So you're going around, and it's literally like champagne popping, just like amazing sound system, and the people are just like so fun. But it's really strange. Like I've even been to a place called Kalamazoo, that I think is in like Michigan, and it's like the people are so amazing everywhere that I can't say that like San Tropez is better than a Kalamazoo, because like the people that come to party are just like they're amazing everywhere. You know what I mean? It's like that energy that you feel and that you hope to get like every show. So some of my favorite places to go, I would say like South Africa was amazing. San Tropez was super fun. China was a lot of fun. Um, Alaska, like up by the North Pole, that was a lot of fun.
Anytime you can DJ for Santa, that's pretty dope.
Right?
I mean,
Trip to
that
Santa's
sounds like
house
a lit
afterwards.
party right there. If I got the invite to be Santa's DJ, you know, I'm taking the offer.
I know. My kids would love that too.
And speaking, like I said, you have children and you have a book coming out. And tell us a little bit about that. Like, what made you want to write a children's book?
I am so excited about this. So this is called DJ Boy. It's like it's obviously a children's book, and I'm designing some apparel to go along with it, and I've kind of designed the character after my firstborn, Stevie Phoenix, and it's just DJ Boy. He loves his turntables. He loves to practice. When he looks outside of his window, he has all of his fans, and they're all different, like races and nationalities. And it teaches a little bit about music fundamentals. And I think I wrote it before I was even thinking about having kids. It was just like a vision that I had, and then it took a long time, like between the cartoonist that I used was over in the UK, so to get the pictures to paint the picture to him of exactly what I wanted was really interesting, like going back and forth, and then finally like putting everything together. It was just like it took me like 6 years.
And now you have the final product. And is it out or coming out?
The product will be done in 2 weeks, and it'll be on Amazon and Kindle, and it's starting there online, and then we'll see where it goes with like the bookstores, but it will be out this summer.
Now you have two children, correct?
Yes.
Now, what is what are their ages? Like, are they like, do they understand like mommy's a DJ? Like, do they understand the aspects of DJing yet? Like, I'm sure you've probably like pumped it into them. Like, this is what you're gonna do. You guys are gonna be like the tag team DJs.
Stevie's been DJing with me since he was like a few months old. So he can work a mixer. he knows how to like beat juggle a little bit. Like, he's practiced with me for hours and hours. And I think I'm going to take him to my show next month because it's a pool party. I'm going to have him come out and like come up to the stage and kind of actually see like what I do, because they have no idea. They think I'm like a servant, I think, a servant and a maid and a chef.
Mommy, I want food. Time to feed me, so they just want mommy to wait on them.
Exactly. I love doing that. You know what? I was trying so hard, like after I had my first one, to get a bunch of shows and send out a bunch of emails, and something was just holding me back. It just wasn't happening. And now, like, things are starting to come around, and it's just like so amazing.
Now, who are some of the people that have influenced you musically? Like, do you have like go-tos? Like, I know a lot of people. Like, I grew up having the luxury, I feel like, of two different worlds. I had a mother that listened to Motown, and I had a father that was more of a classic rock guy. So I had like Jackson 5 45s, as well as like like Lynyrd Skynyrd and Led Zeppelin playing.
I love all that. Yeah, I love all that stuff. I would say like influential. I mean, I grew up where when I was a baby, I was putting records on turntables. Like, my dad had a vinyl collection, and I would put on Tina Turner, I would put on Jimmy Buffett, I would put on the Beatles. I mean, my music background goes way back. And then when I started getting into DJing, at the time, like, the best DJs were Paul Oakenfold and DJ AM. And, they were big influences, like, when I first started. And, I mean, I didn't want to be, like, a mediocre DJ. I mean, I really wanted to set out and be, like, the number one female DJ, like, in the world. And that was the goal I told myself. And I think, like, for a while, like, when I was touring, like, it was just, like, I mean, I was in such a zone. It was just, like, such a blessing to be able to book out and play, like, year-round, year after year after year.
And you've performed with people like Snoop Dogg, and I see, like, Funk Flex, and kind of let everybody know, like, what the feeling was to be able to work with such big celebrity names like that.
I mean, it was crazy to have idols and then actually, like, step on the turntables, like, after them. Like, I remember there was a club in Hollywood, and Paul Oakenfold was playing, and then he turned around and, like, handed me the headphones, and I was just like, I just couldn't believe that I was able to, like, actually achieve this, like, such a far-fetched goal of, being the DJ that I wanted to be. And it was like, I played with DJ Rap, Snoop Dogg, Master Flex, all kinds of other bands, and played with DJ AM. It was just like, it was just like a dream come true.
Now, you also, like I mentioned before, branched off into acting, and you've done episodes of things like How I Met Your Mother. Is that something also that you were looking to do, or is that just something that's like an opportunity that came about when, you took it, or do you find yourself wanting to do more acting?
I'm still very obsessed with acting. Like, I studied for probably like a decade in Los Angeles. I went to everything from like the groundlings, like stand-up comedy, to the actors workshop where it's like scene studies. So that's like my background. That's like the root of like my artistry. I'm very like self-conscious, so I hate seeing myself actually in the after fact, but I love the feeling of just getting lost, like in a character. So yeah, I hope to do more acting in the future.
And then I also want to mention that you have because I've seen it on your Instagram, you have the now Break Free. Kind of tell everybody what that's
Yes.
about.
So I wrote this song called Break Free. It's about being in a relationship, and when you're no longer motivated, or somehow like your joy is like sucked away, and it kind of comes from the root of your relationship, and you just want to like get out of it because you know that you have like a big calling, or you have a quest, you have something to do like in life. And there's been so many times when I get in a relationship and I kind of just lose all of like my artistry, and I put the relationship first, and then I end up just not being that person that I wanted to be. So the lyrics to me are really like meaningful, and the singer, she's from South Africa, and I literally trained her I sang it to her. I'm not a great singer, but I sang enough to give her like the gist of the song and all the notes, and then she went in and she nailed the song in like 2 hours. And then she was moving to Ibiza. And she's like, okay, I'm leaving town. And I was like, wow, your apartment is really nice. She lives in Beverly Hills. She's like, if you want it, it's paid for the next 6 months if you just want to move in. And I was like, are you kidding me? So I ended up moving into her place, recording a single, and the song is, I never like officially released it with like a big record album. So the song is, it's beautiful to me. I'd love to hear more people's feedback.
Now, do you plan on doing like a full album of just music, or is this kind of like a one-off thing?
No, there's another single that I have that it's partially done. It's with an artist named Baby Goth, who she did a song from the movie Suicide Squad, and she has a really like angelic voice. She did a single with Khalifa, and her voice is amazing. So that song is called Running. That single should be dropping, I would say summer, if not fall. So it's just, the music industry is in a really tricky place right now, where if you're not really with like a big record company, just not quite sure like which way I want to release it.
Yeah, because there's different ways of releasing stuff, and I mean, there's so many different outlets and platforms now that you have to find out what is your niche and what works for you and what reaches the masses and reaches the right people that you want to contact.
Yeah. Yeah. For me, I think like for what I do as far as work, it's like if I just get an idea, like I'm just going to do it. I don't care if it takes a day, an hour, or 7 years. You know what I mean? I'm trying to follow my intuition when it comes to work.
And it's great that you have that mindset.
Huh?
I said it's great that you have that mindset, because there's so many people out there that do things and they just do it for the clout, or the likes and the retweets and all that stuff. And it's I love the fact that you're like, if it takes me 7 years, you know what I mean? Like, it's something that's like, this is something that you're putting your own pride and, your worth into. And for somebody, there's people out there, again, they do things and I feel like some people put stuff out there just for the sake of just saying they put something out there, where you're like, I don't care how long it takes. If it takes me forever, I want to put out the best product out there.
Yeah, I never will do that. Even when my first time DJing in Canada, I had Snoop Dogg's agent, and he was also Avicii's agent, and he goes, listen, you're playing the biggest club in Canada. Like, if you do well, you're always going to be welcome back in Canada. And if you fuck up, you're never coming back. And he goes, so with that being said, you know, do you want us to play like a pre-recorded set? And my mouth hit the floor. I would never play a pre-recorded set. I would rather fail like miserably than fake like being a DJ. You know what I mean? Or like pumping out songs just to like be with a big record company that just wants you to put out like cheesy pop or something.
Mm-hmm.
So no, like when I do that, like my art, my music, my DJing, it has to be authentic.
And a lot of people actually do that. Like, that's surprisingly, you know, there are people that will, you know, they do pre-recorded sets, or they play stuff that they wouldn't normally play or don't actually like or enjoy, but they're playing it because it, you know, it helps them get a deal, or, you know what I mean, get a little bit more notice from a record label. So I like the fact that you're keeping it 100 there, you're keeping it real, that you're just kind of like, look, this is who I am. And it seems like you've always kind of had that approach, even going back to Playboy with Hugh, you know, where you're like, no, I'm just, you know, this is who I am. Like, you're either taking me at my real self or you're not getting me at all.
Yeah, this is true. Very true.
Now, you also have, what's this collaboration you have with sneakers? Like, are you a big sneakerhead? Like, kind of tell us what this is about.
Okay, so, you know, part of being an artist and like the longevity of it is, you know, you do want to create like your products and stuff like that and leave your name like in the marketplace. And a buddy of mine asked me if I wanted to do a sneaker collab, and I was like, you know, of course I do. Of course I do. So we ended up doing, the brand is called Soul Fang, and we did like a faux python. I didn't know whether to do like real python or like a fake skin, and I just figured I would rather not offend people and do the baby python. And so it's a baby pink sneaker, but it also comes in white and it comes in black, and it's called Soul Fang. And then I came up with a tagline, Soul Fang, do what your soul tells you. So it's like the soul of the shoe, Soul Fang being the name of the company, and like following your soul is something that is very important to me, like your intuition, your soul, like what are the messages you get, like when you close your eyes, like whether it's God speaking to you, you know, your intuition, just like follow that, do that. So yeah, the shoe's available like on Amazon. It's available on Soul Fang website. I actually myself called Costco today to see if I could get a distribution deal with them. So nice. It's like, you know, I'm just, you know, we're all here for a short time, and you know, I'm very thankful that I was given the opportunity to work with Soul Fang, and then hopefully take it from there. I shot and directed probably 10 hours of footage with the LA Shuffle Squad, which is shuffling, dancing with like tech house music. Something about it just like warms my soul. So I went around and I shot this crew for like 10 hours and in Hollywood, on Hollywood Boulevard, Venice Beach. And like the lightness that these kids have, like when they shuffle dance to house music, is just like, I feel like a lot of people just need to like dust their shoulders off and forget about like the problems and the worries, and, you know, get out there and like dance and party. And that's what I saw when I saw this dance squad.
Now, these are available to women and men as well, or is it just for women? Or
yeah, it's very much a unisex shoe. So,
okay.
I mean, even the guys, some of the guys are wearing the pink. The whites are super fresh. I love the white ones. The pink ones, down the road, I would like to market them with like breast cancer and get involved in like breast cancer awareness and be able to like give back to the community as well.
Now, are you looking for, I mean, obviously your name is, you know, associated with them. Are you looking for any kind of like celebrity or, you know, an endorsement, like to have like another face with it? Or is it like, how deep are we taking this?
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. I'm not quite sure just yet, like which way with the marketing. I mean, I even tried passing on a deal to what is his name? It's not going to come to me right now. The guy that wears the diamond mask.
God, who wears a diamond mask?
He's a DJ.
I feel like everybody wears a mask now anymore. I need to get me a mask for when I DJ.
I know.
I feel like I got to wear the mask so nobody sees me, because nobody wants to look at me.
It's always fun recreating yourself. But no, I'm not quite sure. Yeah, I'm not sure where I'm going to take it with that.
Okay. And then let everybody know, what future plans you have. I mean, we know you're going to be at Chiller Theater. You're going to be signing autographs and taking photos with people. Like, you've done a couple different autograph signings like that. Like, what's the vibe that you get from when you meet people? Like, do people recognize you from being a DJ, or do they recognize you from Playboy, or is it a little bit more of one or the other?
I absolutely love, meeting the fans. I've done quite a few of the autograph signings this past, year, and meeting the fans, it's they're Playboy enthusiasts. Playboy is, it's obviously fizzling down, and it's not going to be around the way it was, when I was with the magazine. So, I get to meet the fans, and it's just, it's so incredible. It's just, I literally give everything at those fan shows, just, meeting them, taking pictures with them, and it's really a lifestyle for autograph collectors and stuff like that. They're a whole breed of their own.
They are.
You know what I mean? It's they literally eat, sleep, and breathe autographs and the photos and stuff like that. So to be able to make someone's day is just it feels really good.
I mean, I can speak from experience. You see that I'm a big wrestling junkie. I just came back from LA from seeing WrestleMania and attended some of these conventions, and it's the fandom that these people have is insane. And I've been to sports conventions, I've been to horror movie and comic cons, and it's just these people live, like you said, they live and breathe. There's people out there that just embrace the whole atmosphere. So it's going to be a really cool vibe, I think, at Chiller Theater. And you can get details online about that. It's going to be April 28th, 29th, and 30th. You're going to be there all 3 days, right?
Yeah.
Awesome. So you can get a photo with you. I plan on seeing you there. I'm going to get a photo. I'm going to get an autograph.
Thank you. Awesome.
And then let everybody know, too, where they can find you at online, because they're taking away the blue, their little blue check marks now on Twitter. So there's a lot of people that are catfishing out there. So where can people find you at on socials, website, get all the real you?
Yeah, my Twitter is DJ Colleen 50. My Instagram is DJ Colleen Shannon, and my Facebook is DJ Colleen Shannon. Everything is DJ Colleen Shannon. So yeah, if you guys hear the show, if you guys want to have a chat, reach out on the social.
Well, very awesome. We appreciate you taking some time to talk to us. Is there anything else that you want to let the fans know that I didn't cover? Because I feel again, there's so many titles and hats that you wear that it's just, I feel like we could speak forever on all the different things that you're involved in.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate it. Sometimes I don't know which direction to go. My friends are no, do this. This is going to be the thing. And I'm well, I just got to go what is, the closest finish line. And I got to move on to the next project, because the next one is going to be the memoir, which talks about, the DJing career and about Playboy and about a little stint I had in prison that was quite eye-opening.
And see, I didn't even want to get into that. I didn't know if you were open about talking about that, but I know you did a bid there. So you got a little bit of that street cred.
Yeah. Well, you know what? I went there, I did time in the federal prison, and I did it because I didn't narc somebody out, my boyfriend.
Mm-hmm.
And if I would have cooperated with the government, I would have had my sentence clean. They would have held me back from any sentencing. I would have been known as a narc. I would have had to be
snitches
looking
get
in my
stitches,
rearview mirror when I get in the car. Yeah, I was told by an informant a few days before I went in, Colleen, if we'll give you credit for this case, it would have been narking on some Malibu deal that was about to go down, and then they would have like swept my stuff under the carpet. And I thought, damn, that's great. Like, and then I thought, holy crap, that would be like really stupid. I'd rather go in and do the time than like be worried about my life.
Yeah. You don't want to go into the witness protection program. It's going to screw up the whole DJ game.
But that's a good part of like the book, and it's pretty cool because like I'm not racist by any means, and I went in there and I was friends with, you know, every race, every like gang type of person. I became a yoga teacher. I was teaching like 6 a.m. yoga sessions, and it was really like helping heal like some of the girls in there that were doing 10, 15 years that were like the change in like their attitude just when you have control of your mind and your emotions, like through like yoga and meditation. It's just like it was an experience for sure.
Well, I feel like I should have added that in the beginning with the titles, you know, like gangster, you know what I mean? Like, but I'm glad you didn't go full 6ix9ine on everybody, you know what I mean, and start snitching on people, you know. Then people are beating you up inside of a, you know, a
oh, I heard about that.
Yeah, like you get beat up inside the gym, you know. So it's like I'm glad that, you know, you kept it gangster, you know, and just, you know, was like, you know, Colleen, G'd up Colin, you know what I mean? Like, jeez. I'm like, wow. But, I mean, that's cool, you know, and I'm excited for the memoir. I'm excited to hear, you know, the details about that. And I'm glad that you were able to take something like that and spin it into a positive, you know, because I feel like a lot of people, you know, they go in and then, you know, it's I mean, people go in for all kinds of reasons.
Before the positive comes the depression.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It was like, oh, my God, you know, I was on trial for like a year, and I brought to the court like 35 offers all around the world. Like, I'm talking festivals in Vietnam. Like, my DJing career was on fire then. And I told the judge, like, oh my gosh, like I've worked my whole life to have this career. And literally, when you're taken away from that, it's really hard to get back on the circuit.
Mm-hmm.
And I showed him all of my offers. Everything was legit. They said no, like I was a flight risk. And it was just like, I mean, I had mad depression. And it was really weird that when I actually got in there, what I was depressed about became so like enlightening.
And it's great. Like I said, it's a way that you can kind of rehabilitate yourself to the fact that you're able to go out there and again, you made differences for other people. You know, so it's like you said, you were talking about the whole spiritual thing and, you know, kind of finding things in your soul. So that's cool that you're able to, you know, maybe it was a calling. Maybe it was meant to be. You know, it was meant for you to be able to do that and help people in a different light that in the moment it may have seemed, you know, depressing and not quite understanding it. But then 2020 hindsight, you look back at it and you're like, wow, you know what I mean? Like that was my calling. That was for something for me to do. That was something that I was, you know, put in that position for a reason.
Yeah, it was.
Well, again, we look forward to the memoir because now I'm excited. Now that you gave that teaser there, I'm like, okay, we gotta read the memoir. Make sure you go get her book in a couple weeks, your children's book. See her at the Chiller Theater. Hit her up online. Just an all-around cool girl, cool person, and I'm just excited that I had the opportunity to get to know you a little bit. And like I said, I can't wait to see you there and get a picture with you and, you know, flood my socials with it and brag about that I met you. So it's gonna be a really dope time.
You too.
Awesome.
Yeah. Thank you so much. And yeah, you guys can check out my socials. I appreciate you taking the time. And yeah, I'm just excited to get out there and see the public again. Hey, what's up? This is DJ Colleen Shannon. You are listening to Mix Master B on MMB Radio.